get down to the... There you go.
So cute.
Sweet. This is Jason Kanigan. I'm here with Brad Gosse at the Warrior Event 2016. Brad has just finished his talk on licensing. Welcome. Awesome to see you here. This is the first time you and I have actually met in real life.
We've been doing business for how long? And we just met.
A year or so, yes. And it's been fun. We've created some interesting characters together. And I thought we'd take a couple minutes here and just talk to Brad about what he does. Come on through. Go ahead.
Hey.
I'm not going to no, we got to do it. Come here.
I know.
You got to get down to the... There you go.
So cute.
Sweet.
So we got any storage?
Sure. Oh, fire alarm's going off now. So, for those who weren't at the event and didn't get the recording, I guess, or anything like that, why don't you share with us a little bit about the idea of creating a character and licensing it? I think you can probably summarize that in a couple minutes.
Yeah. The model that I follow is I create cartoon characters and then I license them out. So I have a cartoon character in the dental health space called Brushy Bear. I license him out exclusively to like oral care product manufacturers and dentists and pretty much anybody I can that will utilize the character in their marketing, and they'll pay me a fee for it.
Right. And what's interesting about this model is the ability to cut it off when the customer stops paying.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, about how you arrange it?
So yeah, what we do is we give them access to our content and we let them use it in their marketing, but they pay us a monthly fee for that, and then when they stop using the content and stop paying the fee, they're not allowed to use the content anymore, so we can actually revoke everything that we've done for them. To that point, they're not allowed, we don't make it disappear completely, but they're not allowed to promote it or use it or sort of refresh it at all.
Okay, so they work with you, and then when they stop working with you, all that content gets brought back under your umbrella, and they're not allowed to use it anymore.
Right.
So for those people who are out there who are thinking maybe, gee, I could never invent something, or how would you even go about protecting an idea that I create, right? How do you do that, and how easy is it?
It's really easy. I took out a copyright. I did it in Canada, but you can do it in the U.S. in the U.S. Patent Trademark Office, and I think they charge like $60 to copyright a fictional character. Trademarks cost a lot more money usually because you can get lawyers involved and everything else, but it's not a trademark. It's technically a character. And even if the character becomes a part of another company's branding, it's never a trademark because it won't ever belong to one company. So it's always a copyrightable asset as opposed to a trademark asset. Copyright costs a lot less, and it's actually a little bit easier to protect because it's an artist's work. The courts kind of look at that a little bit differently than something else.
Going through.
You can go in front, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had it going or not.
We're doing this for the live action feel.
That's right.
So anybody can create a character, no matter how crappily drawn, as long as there's a concept.
Yeah.
They can copyright it for cheap.
Yeah.
They can license it.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up, I guess, what are some of the marketplaces, niches that people could do this in?
You can do this in any space, and you don't even have to do it in, like, you could do it for, chiropractors or pet services or, realtors or really anything. But you don't have to actually do it for a business, right? You could just, you look at brand or at cartoons like the Oatmeal. That he's not attaching himself to brands. He's just making really funny content, and then people buy his books and they buy his T-shirts and they share his content, and I think it's the kind of thing that you don't have to attach yourself to a business. That just makes it. It could be hit and it could be missed when you attach yourself to a business. If you look at it more holistically and you say, okay, maybe I attach it to a cause or a movement or a thing, so it might not be about my product. Brushy Bear isn't necessarily for dentists. It's for oral care, right? He's more of like a Smokey the Bear, than a Mr. Clean. Right, and so he's kind of more on the education and awareness side, but he can still partner with brands. So you kind of want to have something that stands on its own 2 feet. If a brand will never partner with you, and a business will never partner with you, that maybe the content itself will sell. Maybe there's a TV show opportunity, maybe there's book opportunities, and you help me with the first book for Brushy Bear, and both books for Brushy Bear. You have them written and you put them out, and the books themselves could be your product, could be where your money comes from.
Right. And that's something that I think we can finish up on here, is that you don't have to necessarily know everything about the money equation here.
No.
When you start. In fact, it took a couple tries, for you to get the right target market.
Yeah, I had no idea. A lot of people are like, I need to know all 12 steps before I start, and I didn't even know step 2 when I was doing step 1.
Right.
And it really was like each step was kind of like, okay, let's see if this has legs. Okay, let's see if this has legs, and this doesn't. Let's try this. And sometimes it's a step forward and 2 steps back, but you do make it down the road as you go. So it's worth exploring a bunch of avenues and saying, okay, that didn't work. Maybe that'll work later. This works. Let's do more of this. And
so this concept of just trying things and playing a little bit and sticking with it, I think will take anybody pretty far.
Yeah,
right? If you give up after 3 days of effort in trying something, how far are you going to get?
Yeah.
You're going to get nowhere. All right, I'm Jason Kanigan. I appreciate you spending time with Brad Gosse and myself. Brad, if anybody wants help or to talk with you about licensing opportunities and business ideas and that, how can they get a hold of you?
Facebook's probably the easiest way. Just Brad Gosse on Facebook, or Brad Gosse on Twitter, or bradgosse.com, or just Google me.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining us.
All right.